A letter from Steiner Roche von Berengar, garrison commander of Fort Tulane. My dearest Harold, my love, I write to you with all possible mirth to allay your fears that, no, the people of Galeria are not, in fact, comprised entirely of swashbucklers and brigands, as your mother all too often finds necessary to espouse. It is true that the Galerian Armada possesses within itself a fighting force of maritime warriors unmatched by any in the archipelago in matters of naval combat, but it is true now as it ever was that Berengar fighters own the day on dry ground. Sure, I had to crack a few heads together when I came and assumed command, but that was just as much about establishing dominance as it was about being a foreigner, training Galerian natives in the fighting arts. My barracksmen are true to the last. Not that it seems like this place has much need for military police. In truth, Tulane is as idyllic a town as I've found in my tours of duty throughout the archipelago. What crime there is here seems to be easily solved. Petty thefts and schoolyard extortions, and foppish dandies playing at being mobsters. All it takes is a stern look and a bit of saber-rattling to send any enterprising so-called criminals scrambling away. I miss the forests of Barren, the quarries of home, and the smell of freshly chiseled marble from Sculptor's Row. I miss you, my love. I don't believe that Fort Tulane really needs a soldier of my tenure to keep it in mind. This is a young man's commission. It should be given to some green captain with something to prove, not a veteran like me. I've put in my transfer request to something a little closer to home. The Argent Dynasty needs a head of security for something they're planning later this year, and it would give me the opportunity to be stationed somewhere where the distance between us is measured in days rather than weeks. Like I said, this fort doesn't need somebody like me here. Nothing of note ever happens in Tulane. Hello, and welcome to Roll Dice and Cry, an actual play podcast where we roll dice and you cry.
We will also cry.
We will also cry. Today, we return to the verdant, hilly landscape of Tulane, Galeria, to Zara Fontaine and Tiuku Bell, who are here on a very important mission, but I'll let them introduce themselves and tell you what that is. And we're going to start with Emily.
Hi, everybody. I am Emily Riesbeck. You can find me on Twitter at The Blue Valkyrie. Read my webcomic, bluevalkyriecomic.tumblr.com.
And Nora.
Hello, I'm Nora Delius, and you can find me on Twitter at Snoro, where I draw things.
Fantastic. And I am Zachary Frederickson, your friendly neighborhood GM, who you can find at Obfuscating God on Twitter. So, yeah, we're in Tulane. It's a city in Galeria. It's a city where Ford grew up. It is a university town. There's a university here called Belvedere University that a number of very important people have gone to. And you are here for what reason?
We are here because somewhere around this town there is a old piece of Titan technology that we are supposed to turn on, basically, and that should let us communicate with the Bastion.
Yes, and beyond, potentially.
And beyond.
Yeah. Also setting up this communication for Galeria.
Yes.
For the Cultural Admiral.
Yes, you've agreed to allow the Cultural Admiral to share the secrets of this ancient communications technology so that it could be replicated across Galeria.
I also told the dean of the university that I would, the dean of disciplinary concerns at the university, that I would search for a missing professor named Orion Montauk.
Yes.
Who was last seen going east towards this big old tower, and what luck, thinks I, me Zara and me Emily, because I bet you that's where we need to go.
It's not a bad thought for sure. But right now, we are not looking at where Zara is because we are looking at where Tuku is. Because Tuku, you kind of slipped your own direction last time because you acquired some things during the last mission, during your stay in Azure Bay.
Yeah, gifts for me.
Gifts, yes, gifts that you got for yourself that belonged to other people.
Well, now they're mine. And
so you've arrived at this place called the Wretched Squall.
Yeah.
Which is it's a big, it's kind of like a dive bar. It's kind of built into, it's like a hole in the wall almost. I think it might actually be a hole in the wall. Like Tulane has like walls around the city because it's a relatively well defended place. And this is built into that wall.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and it's like a cellar bar, where you have to like walk down from the pavement to go inside. Can you tell me about how the criminal underbelly kind of works in this part of the archipelago?
In Galleria or just in Tulane?
Either one, whichever you feel more confident about espousing.
I think I'll just go into Tulane right now because it's like a university town full of nerds. Mm-hmm. So I assume there's not like a huge crime underbelly.
No.
Like, there's crime, but it's probably not like, very organized. It's just like, a lot of it's just like, misbehaving students, probably, who think that they are now big shots. So Tuku is very confident. At least, I think this is what Tuku thinks of this mostly. So Tuku is very confident, like...
So there are nerds here who commit crimes and think they're cool and hard. And they're the only criminals here?
No, I think there's probably still, like, regular crime as well.
People who have connections to other organized crime elsewhere?
Yeah.
Speaking of organized crime, do you think there's, like, any crime syndicates? Is there, like, a mob?
In Tulane?
Or just in Galeria?
That would be really cool. I think there would be. I think there's something like that, definitely.
Uh-huh. What do you think the gang is? The organization? It's just called The Sky. The Sky?
Yeah, the sky is the limit for what they do. I don't know. That's really lame. Oh no.
No, I don't think it's lame.
Okay, it's just called The Sky. The organization. It's very mysterious. Maybe there's rumors that it has like some connections to the Navy, maybe through piracy.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
I think that'd be cool since that's a Gallery's thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they do, but there's rumors about it, definitely.
About this like mafia organization is like feeding back into the military. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a snake that eats its own tail, and so on and so forth. Okay, so they're called The Sky.
Yeah.
And, okay, so you go into this bar. Is there a way for somebody in the know to be able to tell what a member of The Sky looks like?
Maybe they have like a feather tattoo somewhere or something. I don't know. But it's like not in the plain view for people.
That's not too bad. I was thinking like a cloud pin, which is kind of silly.
It's cute though. Yeah. It's very fashionable.
Yeah, like a little cloud. So how does one go about fencing goods? Do you just go and talk to the bartender, or do you is there somebody here that you can zero in and be like, that's the one who can take care of me?
I think the bartender's probably the best pet, but I'm not sure.
Alright, well what does Tuka do? You walk into this bar.
Like maybe there's a special order that's just like a kind of like thieves' cant in D&D. Uh-huh. There's like a special order you place at a bar when you want to fence some goods.
Uh-huh. And is that every bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like varies a little bit like per country or like something, but I think it's like very universal.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So what's that? What is that order?
Something really weird. Like not really weird, really weird, but something like that normal people wouldn't order by accident. Maybe it's a poison that you order.
A poison?
Yeah, like you wouldn't go to a bar and order like poison. So it's like
I mean, on one hand, you could say that everybody who goes to a bar and drinks is ordering poison.
But like an official poison, like
an official branded, copywritten poison.
like a Goldenroot Daiquiri or something. I don't know.
A Goldenroot Daiquiri sounds fun.
Yeah, that's what you order, and then you get to. They know what you want now.
Okay, let's go in there. So you've arrived. You're in this bar. It is a smoky sort of place. A lot of teens here. Like older teens, but they're still teens because this is like, the 1800s and kids can drink and shit. And yeah, it's very smoky. They're smoking pipes, they're smoking cigars, they're smoking cigarettes, they're smoking, the reefer.
Yeah.
And you describe to me what you do. You just like walk up to the barman and like...
Yeah. Just like order like a shot of milk and Goldenroot Daiquiri. Just like straight up, I think.
Oh yeah, I think he's this bugbear fella. He's like a blonde bugbear, like almost golden brown coat, and like brown eyes. And like most bugbear eyes are like dark enough that you can't really make out the color, but he's got like actual brown eyes. And he's kind of polishing glasses and keeping things organized. And he slides you a shot of milk and he says, "I'm gonna need to see some ID for the other one."
Tuku puts like a small bell on the counter. It's like, would this do? Would this be enough? You got a celebrity here.
Are you wearing your mask?
Yeah. I think she put the mask on like before she went in. Because I mean, I don't think she's gonna go in to sell stolen goods without,
Okay, so like you stood at the door, put a mask on, and walked in.
No. She stood at like a alleyway before this place.
Uh-huh.
And waited for a bit. And then put on a mask and stepped in. Are
you wearing any other clothes differently except for the mask?
Maybe she has like one of those jackets that you can turn.
You have a reversible jacket. Cool. Yeah. On one side it's got your cool 90s windbreaker aesthetic and the other side is just straight black.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. He sees it, and his eyes flick up at you, and he kinda, takes a wash rag and, wipes it across the counter, and when he brings it back up, the bell is gone. And he says, we, keep the premium stock in the back. I'm sure you can find your way there.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Sure. And he just goes back to polishing glasses.
And Tuku, just a little discreetly, but not obviously discreetly, just walks to the back. She doesn't look around suspiciously or anything, she just walks in. But she doesn't she does it quietly.
Yeah, so there's a back room, and there are 3 people in this back room. And they're currently playing, I think, some combination of dominoes and mahjong. It's it's like a game that's just, privy, part of this world. But they use little domino tokens like mahjong or dominoes. They probably got cool little colored things, ink, inscribed in them, like dragons and clouds and waves and ships and stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah. It is 2, orcs and a koshaki. One of the orcs is this kind of big, burly fellow. He's got, face tattoos and a mohawk. Kind of like Ford's, but more wild. And, his horns have actually been cut down.
Oh.
So if you've ever seen Hellboy, it's basically like those. And the ends of them have been capped in gold or brass. And he's got a shirt, like a sleeveless shirt and, pants, and he looks like a pirate, effectively. And the other guy is wearing a really nice suit. Do you think there's a way for orcs to have hats?
Yeah, they just cut things in them, cut holes.
Okay, so he's got a nice hat on that's made for his horns, which are probably a little bit more, kind of curly, very, very just nice looking, well formed. and he's playing dominoes with the other guy. And the third person is a cat, a Goshaki, who is smoking and watching the game. He's like a black cat. He's got green eyes. He's very like long and lithe, and wearing like leather armor. And he has a scimitar that is that's not on his belt. It is like leaned against the chair next to him, which is actually easier to get to. And when you go through this door, the two orcs look up, but the cat doesn't. The Goshaki doesn't. So yeah, so the guy in the hat, which is basically like a top hat. He kind of looks like a Monopoly man. A little bit. He's very well dressed with like a wallet chain and or a pocket watch chain and like a waistcoat. The slick man, he looks up and he says, "Oh, hello, Kingsley. We've got a guest. How unusual." And the other one looks over at you, the guy with the mohawk, whose name is Kingsley Unbecoming.
Oh.
And he kind of like quirks a brow at you and he says, "I don't think she's a guest."
What do you think I am then?
A customer.
Yeah, that's about right.
And the other guy, whose name is Perrier Demetrios, he kind of like claps a hand on Kingsley's shoulder and he's like, No. It's really the same thing. If you're here, you are partaking of our hospitality, even if you're partaking of our services. And Kingsley just kind of grunts. Now, friend, how can I be of assistance? Here, sit down and join the game. You can have Lantern here deal you in.
How delightful.
And the Koshaki, like, takes out, I guess, like, he's like a bag of dominoes and like, shakes out some and hands them to you. This Koshaki's name is Lantern's Light. And, yeah, so you sit and you get dealt into this game, which I don't know what that looks like. What is this game?
You said it was like mix of dominoes and mahjong.
Yes, and I'm saying that having never played mahjong, but having seen what the boards look like.
Oh, mahjong, it's like basically like poker.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. I got an idea. What if it's like, it's got like mahjong, so you're trying to make the best hand, but like, part of the thing is that, maybe in this game, certain tiles are revealed, and it's sort of like a half poker, half bluffing game, because you can like reveal tiles and steal tiles from people, so it's sort of like a mix between like mahjong, liar's dice, and like old maid.
Okay.
So you're trying to like get other players to steal your like shitty, dominoes and keep your good ones and make the best hand. What about that?
That does sound cool. And I wish I knew more about any of those games to like understand what you mean, but it sounds cool. It sounds like the sort of thing criminals would play. So I guess it's this thing where your hand is, like you put your hand out and you have to like place them, and you know what each one is, but they don't know what each one is, but they have to like pick from your hand. I guess. What's this game called?
Yeah.
Chutes and Ladders.
Okay, well,
not that one.
Not. That's a game.
I like that.
So that's already a thing.
What?
Yeah, Chutes and Ladders is
What
a
if
game.
it's just called Islands?
Islands?
Like it's played all across the archipelago, and it's called Islands.
Okay.
Every player's hand is called an island, and you're trying to make the best island.
I dig that. Nice. Okay. So you get dealt into it with a hand of islands. And, what do you say as you're playing?
I think she's just like slowly starts making a small talk, like how she had a visit. I had a visit to the cultural admiral at Asher Bay, and he indirectly gifted me with some very interesting artifacts and cool trinkets.
I think the Perrier, the slick man, kind of laughs at that and says, "Oh my. Well, I suppose for an individual afflicted with the bad case of sticky fingers, that's just got to be the worst place in the world to be, doesn't it?"
I find it very lovely, actually, but it was hard to get out with all the stuff that I've got. Quite heavy.
And Kingsley like puts down a piece and he says, "High profile. How do we know that you're not being traced?"
Well, I'm not. I'm good, obviously. I've never been traced in my life. That's a lie. She doesn't say that's a lie. Obviously, she does say that.
I love this lying cat.
Yeah.
I think when you say you've never been traced in your life, Lantern's light, his ear kind of flicks. He doesn't say anything. And Kingsley's eyes like flick over and meet with Perrier's. Perrier says, "Well, Miss, what was your name again? I don't think I actually got it."
The Bell Thief? You can just call me Bell.
Bell. Well, my friend Bell, you will find that while we are in fact equipped with the resources materially to take these items off your hand, we would be doing so at great personal risk. Regardless of your beliefs as to whether or not you were or were not tailed, that's simply not a risk that we can take lightly.
Now, the thing is that I feel like, from the way he reacted, my lovely involuntary benefactor, I think he was just delighted to have a celebrity visit him, really. So I don't think he misses this. He had quite a lot back there, so really, I don't think he's even looking.
Kind of just like smile, and he's like, too true, too true. But unfortunately, we are not celebrities. And if we were to take them off your hands, there is every possibility he would not look upon us as fondly as he might you.
But how would he know that you have it? You are professionals after all, aren't you?
We are professionals, but word can get around.
No.
Not even the word will get around, merely that it could, and that possibility is one that ushers us into a certain amount of caution. That's how you become a professional, after all.
No, you don't have to lecture me about professionalism.
Well,
Sorry, shut up.
I set a fire in my last job. He nods. He's like, I'm sure. I just mean that there will be a certain security fee, I would say, deducted from any transactions that will occur.
I see. That is, of course, very understandable.
I'm glad you see it.
Just, how understandable, though, remains to be seen.
Here's, I was going to try to write a custom move. I didn't really have time. But here's here's the gist of it, this negotiation move that I was working on. You can roll charisma.
Yeah?
And on a 10+, they only take 10%. And on a 7 and 9, they take 25%.
What if I fail?
Then they might do something. Something else might happen.
Oh, no.
If you fail, it's the same failure condition of every other move in the game, which just means I get to make a move as hard as I want.
Show them your papers. You're a sheriff's deputy. Arrest these fools.
Oh boy, that sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a very good idea. So go into this guy's den of crime and try to arrest him.
You're the famous Steve Bell. You can do it.
Yeah, I can arrest anyone. Oh no. Yeah. So I will roll charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a 9.
Okay. So he kind of grins and he says, a mere 25% security fee. Considering the assured value of these items, I can't imagine you will be that sore with what you end up with.
Well, I guess it's a trouble carrying these around.
I can only imagine.
I have plenty more back at home, of course.
Of course. And you hear this kind of like raspy chuckle come out of Lantern's light.
What the fuck is this? Do still? Now, I have one request, however.
Certainly.
For repeat customers, you would of course offer a discount, right?
And he kind of laughs, and he's got this big cigar. He takes a puff of it, and he says, "Well, of course, this sort of security fee is one, that mostly pertains to uncharted waters, you might say. once we know the lay of the land, or sea, or however it may be, we will of course be more amenable to adjusted terms.
Of course. And you would, of course, put a good word on my behalf to your friends?
Oh.
If the transaction is to your benefit?
Oh, I believe I have a number of friendly acquaintances that would be just as happy to help you out in any future endeavors.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. It is wonderful doing business with you.
As with you, Miss Bell. So what do you, can you, run down the loot you got? What do you pull out and, sell to these dudes?
I think she starts with, a lot of rings, just, taking them one by one out. And, what else? There's a crystal, did I get a crystal globe?
Crystal skull.
Yeah, the skull.
Are you gonna sell the skull?
I'm not sure. I really like the skull. I think I kind of want to decorate my quarters with the skull.
Nice.
So I think it's just a bunch of rings and chains and whatever Admiral was wearing. And
all right, so Tsuku, you hand all this stuff out, and he looks through and he says, "Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I believe if I was to appraise this as one would, as a deducting our fee, of course, at $300. How does that sit with you?"
Yes, I think that sounds quite agreeable.
Fantastic. Mr. Lantern, could you get me my billfold, please? And this black cat stands up and goes behind him to an end table where a wallet is sitting, and picks it up and hands it over to him. Which he could have just gotten himself. He could reach it, but it's, he's that kind of dude.
Yeah.
And he unlocks billfold and he flips out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 $50 bills. And he has a thick stack of bills on this billfold.
Nice.
So this is definitely like him showing off his wealth, because bills in Galeria only start at $20.
I see.
Anything lower is coins. There's a $5 coin and a $1 coin.
Okay.
And yeah, so you get 6 $50 bills, which adds up to $300 in Galerian coin.
Cool.
Yeah. And he says, "A pleasure doing business with you. May the sky ever be open above you."
Oh. A pleasure doing business with you as well. I hope to see you again.
And he nods, and then kind of does he does the thing where when someone gets a lot of poker chips, they just kind of pull it all towards themselves. No, actually, I think he's got a one of those puller things, like a rake that he just picks it up and pulls it all towards him off the table without moving.
Yeah. How does the game turn out?
I don't know. I guess you can, if you want, you can roll intelligence to see if you win.
That's my bad, but I will try. That's my bad stat.
You gotta be smart to catch bluffs.
Oh wait, it's not my baddest stat, right? It's not a very good stat. Oh, I rolled an 11.
Looks like you win.
Yeah.
You don't win anything because you just got paid.
Yeah.
The game's mostly a means of moving the money back and forth. But it's, you still win the game.
That's very good too. He's very happy of winning the game.
He says, "You are an admirable player, Ms. Bell.
And a good liar."
Why, thank you.
A very good liar.
My specialty. One of them.
Come back sometime. We'll see if I can't break that streak."
Sure. I'd love to.
And, yeah. So what do you leave?
Yeah, I think, not with the mask. I think she goes back to the same alley to take off the mask.
Unhenshins.
What?
Henshin is when you transform in a magical or a sentai thing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you've completed your illicit deed for the day, and now you're going to regroup with Zara. Fantastic.
What is Zara doing right now?
What is Zara doing right now?
Well, Charlie, Axel, and I had a little fun at the university. We got pointed in a direction that I think that might lead us to our destination. So I am just going to go back to where Nemo and Eustace was told to meet us. Tiyuku said she would meet us there later, so I'm going there. Probably may have some food, right. But ultimately I'm just like, all right, let's get ready and get going.
Yes. So you it's called the Silver Stern.
Mm-hmm.
It is a nice upscale inn. It's like a hotel, effectively. It's got a lobby with a bar, meeting like a restaurant sort of situation, and then behind it there's like a set of staircases that lead up into rooms. I think Nemo and Eustace are in the lobby. They've already loaded all the rooms and stuff up, so they're kind of just hanging out. Nemo's got like his feet up on like an ottoman, and he's kind of lounging. And Eustace is, I think he's got like his notebook open and he's taking notes and like writing down thoughts.
Well, I'm gonna wait for Tiyuku to come, so I don't have to tell everybody twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some food.
So do you like go and sit by them with your food, or do you eat by yourself and then go and?
No, I'll go and sit by them, and Charlie. I'm buying food for Charlie Axel as well.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
that's so good. Thank you so much, says Charlie Axel. What? All right. What kind of? I think it's like a buffet.
Oh, is it like continental breakfast?
Yeah, I think it's like a continental breakfast, but like it's lunchtime or dinner time.
Cool.
So, what kind of stuff do you get?
Well, Galeria is a lot of like vine, like based food.
Yeah, it's very like Mediterranean cuisine.
Great. So I'm gonna get a bunch of olives and like I'm gonna get a salad, I think. And I'm gonna get a salad with some cheese on it. Ooh, yeah, not
like feta cheese.
Oh yeah, maybe some chicken too. Maybe some chicken and feta.
And Charlie gets the gyro.
Sure.
Oh, with some lamb in a nice whatever they call that bread.
Pita bread.
This is just
like a
pita bread, yeah. And he also gets some olives, and Charlie actually takes 2 olives and he puts them on the tips of his fingers, and he says, "Hey, Miss Fontaine, look, I'm an alien."
What? Wait. What the hell? What the hell is he talking? Like eye stalks?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really something, Charlie.
He's like wiggling his little fingers with the olives on the end.
I'm going to say, well, that's really something, Charlie. You know what's really interesting about that is that some have said that in the deepest parts of the ocean, there are fish with eyes just like those. So you wouldn't even need to come from another planet. You could get that kind of thing right on here in the archipelago, as long as you go deep enough.
Oh, wow. He says, and he eats one of the olives off his finger.
And that's
really cool.
That's exactly what its predators do to it. Eats the eyes, scoops the eyes, and eats them right off their stalks. And then they can't see it, they can't get away, so it's much easier for the predators to catch them.
Oh, wow. He looks at his fingers and wiggles them. He says, "The bottom of the sea is a hell unlike any other."
It's pretty, actually, I think it's pretty amazing, but, to each their own.
It's just, I don't know. That sounds like really scary.
Well, it's a little scary, but once you understand the science behind it, it's really just, think about it. The wolf eats the rabbit eats the grass, the bees pollinate the flowers. It's just that kind of thing is just normal to us, but to somebody who grew up with the eye stalks and eating the eyes, that would look really weird and scary. Things running around on 4 legs on the ground, not in the water at all.
Okay, so you're saying to some fish, I might be a monster.
Right.
Okay. I hope I don't scare any fish. I don't like to scare people.
No, I don't think you have to worry about that. Fish have very tiny brains.
That Nemo kind of like snickers at that from where he's sitting, and I think he's got like his hands behind his head. He's got like an empty plate in front of him that he's already like finished eating by the time you've come up. And he says, "Hello, Miss Fontaine. How was your day today? Did you get much progress done?"
Perhaps. I had a suspicion that the bell tower in the university might contain the uplink, but it didn't. Although, fortunately, I did receive notice of it was like an ancient guard tower, right?
Yeah.
Of a stone tower very old to the east of here, north of Fondant, and I suspect that may be where we're looking for. Also, in the area, a certain Professor Orion Montauk has gone missing. I hope it's not connected.
Nemo's eyes kind of narrow and he says, "Montauk's missing?"
That's according to Dean Royale.
That's worrisome. And he sits up and he says, "Do you know what Orion Montauk's thesis was on?"
I probably might. What was it on? Maybe I will spout lore?
Titans. You could roll spout lore.
Yeah, I'll roll spout lore. I want to roll spout lore just to see if I know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got a 9.
Okay, so you remember him it being about old civilizations, lost civilizations.
And it was about ancient civilizations, wasn't it?
It was about the Titans' kingdom. Montauk believed that there was a lot that could be gained by a more proactive approach to archaeology. He wanted to scour the archipelago for any relics of the Titan era, because he believed that there might be something in there that would be useful for the people of today. Kind of ironic, given the circumstances.
So why didn't Lady Deeplore ask for his help? No offense, sir.
Because he's old and eccentric. And
under my breath, I mutter, "Yeah, we wouldn't know anything about eccentricity."
That's eccentricity.
Yeah, that's whatever.
And he says, "Besides, I already learned everything he could teach, so Deeplore isn't the only person I studied under. I'm what you might call a multidisciplinarian."
Is that so?
Yeah. Well, do you think astronomy is all that goes into celestialism?
You know what? I don't pick a fight. No, I just sort of shrug and look awkwardly away and eat my food.
Okay.
Wait for Tiyuku.
Which I think we can just have Tiyuku arrive now.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, Tiyuku, is that you? Come over here. Here, I've got you a plate of food right here. Come join our conversation.
Oh, hello. That is very lovely.
Yes.
Thank you.
I got a pita.
Nice.
He holds it in the air.
Looks like bread.
Yeah. Munch, munch, munch.
And I explain everything to Tiyuku. I repeat everything I told Nemo.
Yeah.
And Nemo's got he's resting his head on his hand, and he says, "What about you, Miss Campana? Campania? What did you do?"
Oh, I don't think that's the name I'm going to go by here, but wait, do I?
Charlie actually looks up and he's like, "Wait, what's your name?"
Oh, it's Duke Bell.
Oh,
but don't go spraying that around.
okay. keep it on the down low. I see. I see. Okay. Kind of hunches over a little bit to eat its bread sneakily.
I had a very, very profitable day indeed.
Well, how about that?
Also met Fort's parents.
What? Wait, Fort's parents live here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, how was that?
Very lovely. Very nice people.
I'm a little surprised that someone like Ford came from, this place.
His dad gave me some stuff. He's a doctor.
A doctor? Wow.
Yeah. Old lady found this northeast of here. It's a big thing. It's a pink goop. And Tuku just slams to the table.
It goes thump.
I adjust my glass goggles and take a little gander at it.
So it is this kind of lump of pink stuff. When Tuki puts it on the ground on the thing, it's warmed up a bit in Tuki's bag, and so it is a little bit more softer. So it kind of goops a little bit. But it's still solid.
I'm going to sort of like flip my goggles down and flip up a couple lenses and sort of like look at it more closely. I have a move called Let Me See That. I think I can use it here when you take a few moments to handle or examine something interesting.
Yeah, it's something interesting. Then yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I can ask 2 of the following questions. The GM must answer truthfully. What does this do? Who made this? What's wrong with this? And what's been done to recently to this? So I'm going to ask, what does this do?
I think, okay, so here's one way. You like poke and prod at it and you like take a little bit and you pull it. And it like pulls like taffy or chewing gum until it like a piece breaks off. And Charlie's like, "Oh wow, that looks neat," and he like goes and pulls out a little bit of it.
Well, careful, Charlie. This may be dangerous. Do I get any like sense that this is magic in any way?
It's magic adjacent.
This may have some magic in it, and as we all know, that can be very dangerous. So please be careful with that, Charlie, and let me figure out what it is first.
Okay. And he sticks out his tongue and licks it.
Oh God! What happens?
And Nemo like looks over and he says, "Well, we've got a born geologist."
Licking rocks is like a fucking running joke, not just in this campaign, but in every campaign we run.
Yeah, it's a rich vein.
Oh God.
But Tish, it's another mining joke. Anyway.
God damn it. I just needed to scream real quick. Go on.
No worries. So Charlie licks it and his like ears perk up and his eyes get all shiny. He's like, "Oh man, it's really sweet." And he starts to eat it.
Charlie, don't put that in your mouth. Is it just bubblegum?
Oh, it's like saltwater taffy.
What the fuck?
But when you eat it, do you try it, Sarah?
No.
Tuka's gonna try it.
Wait. Okay, what happens to Charlie Axel?
He says, well, I'm not hungry no more. And he starts to pat his tummy.
Oh.
And I feel pretty good. Yeah.
Tiuku, you ate it. What does Tiuku feel?
I think Tuka only eats like tiny bits.
If Tiuku had any damage, she would have healed 1 hit point for eating a pinch of it.
Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna take a little nibble too.
Yeah. It feels, it's very filling, and it feels like revitalizing.
Interesting. And I'm gonna just spin off because I think I got this and I'm smart, so I can intuit things. Well, actually, this might be a similar compound to what's found in healing potions. Similar,
but solid, says Nemo, who like he's not lounging anymore. He's like sit up and like is looking at the stuff and he's poking the block that you have.
I get to ask one more question. Who made this?
I know who made it. I don't know how.
The answer can be Zara, you don't know.
It's, looking at it. Okay, so looking at it, it looks like, I don't know how people make taffy, but it's not sugar. This isn't made of sugar. It's sweet to the taste, but it isn't just like sponge sugar that's been like pulled in a taffy machine. This is something else. And it's so finely made that you don't know how someone could have made it.
But it's made.
This is fabricated.
Okay, so it's not something that somebody got out of a tree or a rock or something.
No.
Got it. Okay, cool. Okay. There is no way this is naturally occurring, but whoever made this is, well, they know their stuff. I would love to meet whoever made this. This is exciting. Solid magic is incredibly hard to make, and a diluted solid magic would be almost impossible. And there's a reason my little batteries are liquid, and so are healing salves.
Yeah. And Nemo's like sat up and he's like kind of looking at it too, and he says, "Do you think this might be Titan tech?"
Well, on the one hand, it certainly could be, but I feel like we might be jumping to conclusions just a little bit. Every amazing piece of magical technology we come across isn't necessarily going to be Titan tech, and food items are probably a lot harder to preserve like this than even the Fontanium or the celestial armature frames, even though those kept very well for thousands of years, I don't necessarily feel it's a reasonable assumption to make at this time.
Okay. And Nemo kind of scratches his chin and says, so you don't think it's something that could have been kept this long?
It certainly could have, but I feel that would be a leap of logic. That's all.
Okay, just let me say, Zara, these recipes do exist.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure it was made. It might have been made more recently. Just because it's edible. I wouldn't eat anything that's 2,000 years old.
So what do you think that means?
Again, it may be related to the Titans, but it might not be.
All right. Well, do you have a hypothesis? And he like puts his hands on his chin in his hand and says, "Come on, Zara, you're a scientist."
I think for a second, and I'm going to say, you know what? I want to just think, and I want to rack my brain for what I know, and see if anything I've got in my. Oh, I pull out the grimoire.
Yeah.
I pull out the Spellwright's grimoire and I start flipping through it, seeing if there's anything like this in there.
Okay.
So
so that gives you a +1 to
spout lore. So I'm gonna roll plus. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll a +1 to intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 10. That is
You got a 10. That means you get something impressive, something useful and interesting. And you flip through it, and like, so parts of this are, magical inscriptions, runes, glyphs, arcane sigils. Some of them are like weird, almost arcane, esoteric blueprints for stuff. Maybe some things that might give you like ideas on how to build some stuff in the future. And then some of it is like journals, and a lot of the journals are hard for you to read. Like the ciphers are still giving you trouble, but you flip to one and it talks about long detachment food sources. And it's this account of description of a machine that the Titans used whenever they would go on long tours out into the wastes, it says.
Into the wastes?
Yeah.
Have I heard that before?
No.
Okay, good.
That they had something on their ship that they could request sustenance. It says a lot of times, like it says over and over, you have to be polite. You have to ask nicely. And then it mentions these pink bars of food that would come out and would be easily digestible. You'd eat them and it would keep you going all day. And this is a mechanical thing that I'm telling you, is that a full bar heals 15 HP.
Wow.
Nice. That's my whole HP.
Wow.
Does it say how long they keep?
It's like a day or two.
Well, I have good news and bad news.
Okay.
The good news is that this is Titan tech. You are right. It seems like some sort of machine makes it, spins it from raw magic power. And the bad news is that it says that this machine, the food that comes from it, only lasts a day or two, which means somebody just made this.
Is that bad news?
It means that somewhere there's Titan tech that is not being used by us. Color me cautious, but I'd say that's probably bad news.
Nemo nods and like leans back in his chair. So, I guess part of our job now is finding and reclaiming this technology, right?
Maybe we should just head out now. Get a head start.
I would be for that. He checks his watch, which is not a watch. I think he's got like a hourglass timepiece, but it's like a gyroscopic hourglass. So like no matter which way he's holding his hand, it always like is facing the correct direction, which I think is a cool little ocean punk thing. Mm-hmm. He says, well, we have a couple hours of sunlight left, but it's gonna get dark pretty soon. Do you want to be traipsing around the woods in the darkness?
I mean, I have no problem with that.
I flip on the light switch on my goggles.
All right. That sounds like you're feeling it. Okay. And Nemo stands up and he says, do you want us all to come with you, or is this a duo mission?
I look over at Tsuyuku, and then I say, well, more people couldn't hurt.
I'm fine either way.
But I am worried this might be dangerous.
Yeah.
Charlie, if you want, you can stay here.
No, but I'm gonna help.
Charlie, this might be very dangerous.
And he kind of straightens up and he gives a salute. He's not going to decide to not go. If you're worried about him getting hurt, you have to tell him to not go.
You know what? No, but he's a resourceful guy. Like, he's also like a sneaky guy, which will help us at night. So I'm like, I sort of smile and I say, okay then, let's go.
Hell yeah! And Eustace, like, looks at his notebook and puts it down and says, I'm going to put this in my room and then I'll be right back down.
All right.
He just goes upstairs and then comes back down, like, with his jacket on. He says, we are going to have to sleep at some point, you know.
I've burned the midnight oil more than once.
All right. Y'all are the boss. Shiz, lead the way.
Tuco's gonna stash most of her money in her room, so she's not going out with over 300 Galarian dollars.
Fair.
Yeah. And she's gonna hide them well.
How long a journey is it to this tower that I saw?
I would say that each square maybe is an hour.
So a 7-hour trek.
It'd be a 7-hour trek, yeah.
Okay. And what time is it now?
4:30 in the afternoon.
So we would be getting there around in the dead of night.
The dead of night, yeah.
That might be good, though.
Might be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we're expecting any danger, then we'll have to drop on them, and we've got 2 sneaky people. I think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, I think Zara thinks this is a good idea, too. I'm gonna say this to Tiyuku and Charlie. I'm going to say, like, listen, I maybe call me paranoid, but this kind of stuff, it's a little bit dangerous. I mean, the last time we found any Titan tech, we had to fight a big monster for it, and with people missing and with people there, I just think maybe it's better if we can, Tiyuku and Charlie, you two can, like, sneak into places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sneaky guy.
Right, so, yeah, so that's a good idea, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Mr. Axel's got 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. The thing is, do you think monsters sleep?
Everybody has to, right?
True.
Not if you're a machine, man. Bah, bah, bah. Like a rock monster that doesn't need to eat, or like an elemental being of fire. I think of a such stuff that doesn't need to sleep. Vampires.
I think vampires sleep. At
They
night?
sleep?
That day.
Wait, do we know vampires? Are vampires a thing?
I don't know. Are vampires a thing?
Vampires are... Well, I mean, they're probably a thing, but, like, they're probably, like, secret.
Yeah, probably fiction. At least.
Charlie says, do they sleep or do they wait?
They sleep.
Oh.
Alright, we get going.
Alright, you get going.
We set off, and how are the caps being transported?
That's a good question. Are they? They're in warehouses right now.
Oh, we're bringing that shit, right? I'll ask Nemo and Eustace. Do you think we should bring the caps?
Oh man, I think you definitely could.
They might help with activation.
True, the uplink could be rather large.
Oh man, and he looks at. I'm gonna look at the occult serendipity. It is ostentatious and loud.
Maybe we should wait until nighttime.
I just mean, are you gonna bring that on a sneaking mission? And if so,
this is starting to make me think that the nighttime idea is bad. Maybe we should just wait until the morning.
On the other hand, the Mistral is svelte. It is fast and quiet and camouflaged. So if you were going to bring only one, you could bring the Mistral.
Fuck that! I'm bringing mine. Not a snowball's chance in hell of my being without a robot.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always just bring it and not activate it. Like, if we don't need it, we don't need it. Hooray for us.
No, yeah, for sure. Just for sure.
How can we, transport them? Just,
Cart?
through the forest?
Carts?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, carts.
Okay.
No, I just had this image in my head of like Tuku carrying Zara in the Mistral back to town so she could get her mech and fight something.
Let's just bring it with. I don't want to risk starting this thing in the town.
Yeah.
And that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I've seen what these things can do, and they're going to destroy everything around them.
Yeah, especially you with your meteor bow. So yeah, so you have to go and get your cart. All right, so here's the thing. carts is gonna make it a longer trek.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that means makes each one an hour and a half. So you have, instead of it being 7 hours, it is
10.5?
10.5 hours, yeah.
I did that math using my fingers.
10.5. So we're gonna get there around 2 a.m. That's fine. I've stayed up late before. I hate early mornings. I'm a night owl. I build inventions. I stay up till all hours building inventions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a thief.
Yeah.
You're a thief.
And Charlie's a raccoon. He's literally nocturnal.
Yeah. I mean, he still sleeps at night because he's like a person now. He just lives normal person hours. So I guess technically the mechanic could be nocturnal, and that would have been a cool twist. Anyway, after you walk for after 5 hours of walking, Charlie's like, I'm tired.
We're almost there.
Okay, and Eustace just picks him up and like puts him on his shoulder.
Oh.
Aw. I mean, we could leave them here.
No, don't leave me here, he says weakly from behind.
Oh no.
While I want to walk ahead with Tyuku a bit, and I want to say just to Tyuku, I want to make it so that no one else can hear. I'm going to say Tyuku.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I am not sure about a lot of this stuff, and it may be nothing. But I just wanted to tell you, and I sort of like open the Spellwright's grimoire, and even though she can't read it, I like show her the page.
Yeah.
And I say, this is the recipe for, that thing you bought, and it references something here. Apparently these machines existed on ships that the Titans would take into a place they called the Waste. The Wastes.
Oh. I don't like that.
Neither do I. I have no idea what it means, Tyuku.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it is, you don't call it the Wastes if it's a nice place.
I mean, ironically you could, I guess, but, I kinda doubt that.
Right. Well, that's it.
Okay. Well, let's just not go there.
Yeah. Okay.
I doubt this is the waste, so I think we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Alright. I'm gonna make you roll a perilous journey. You don't have to worry about a quartermaster, but you do have to worry about your trailblazer and your scouts. The trailblazer would help you get there faster, and the scout will spot any trouble quick enough to let you get the drop on it.
I have really good wisdom, so I would like to be the scout if that's okay. Do our hirelings have any skills that would help us?
Not for this one.
Okay.
The only hireling skill that would help for this is called Tracker, and the other team has both of the trackers.
I would like to be the scout because I have 2 wisdom, and I feel like I don't want anything to get the drop on us.
Okay. Tyuku is Trailblazer. Zara is Scout.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of funny.
Perfect.
I have night vision goggles.
You do, I know. So yeah, you're actually pretty good, pretty qualified for this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, roll yourselves your perilous journey.
Which is plus wisdom, right?
Yes.
Wow, I got a 13.
But Zara got a
9.
13.
I am still unstoppable. What the hell?
What?
So Zara, yes, you get a 13. Tyuku, you got a 9, which means it takes the 10.5 hours to get there. But Zara, you kind of be like, I'm gonna scout ahead, with your goggles to make sure that nothing gets a drop on you. And you discover as you're doing that, one, you see in the distance on the other side of this tower, you see lights in the distance of the forest. Looks like fire, like torches or a campfire or something. And you hear like voices talking. And then you also notice between that and you is somebody wearing dark clothes with a sack over their shoulder, sneaking away from the fire.
Interesting. I whisper about this to, I say, okay, there's some sort of camp over there, and I'm gonna guess that is the Archaeological Society. But, Tyuku, Charlie! I point out, and I sort of take off my goggles and slap them on Tyuku's head and point, and I say, do you see that guy in the black cloak?
Yes, I mean, Zara, I can see the dark, but
I
yes,
take off the
yes,
goggles and put them back on my head, and I say, okay.
Yeah?
Who do you think that is?
Well, I'm just guessing, but could that be the professor? Professor?
Maybe, but if he was missing, why would he be sneaking away from a camp?
He has a bag on his head.
No, he has a sack over his shoulder. This person.
Oh, I thought he had a bag on his head. Oh, never mind that then.
Should we investigate?
Yeah.
It's big detectives!
Yeah. You think Tioku's gonna, like, try to scoot in a little closer because this guy is, like, sneaking away, right?
And you're not necessarily sure that it's a guy. Also, you
Yeah.
can't really tell
Just
in the dark.
person.
Mm.
Person is sneaking away.
Yes.
And, can I roll to discern realities?
Absolutely.
Oopsie. It's a 6.
No.
Hey, get to mark XP, right?
Yeah. You do get to mark XP. What does that mean? Okay. Oh, I know what it means. Maybe you like step on a twig or something, or something happens. Like there's a branch that gets. Oh, or Charlie can do it, or someone else. Like maybe you didn't tell the others why you were stopping, and then I kind of bump into you. And Zara, your headlamp just flashes right on.
Mm-hmm.
And you see for a second, illuminated against the tree line, a young-looking Koshaki with sort of like patchy black and orange fur and bright green eyes, wearing like kind of ragged clothes with like a bag of stuff over their shoulder, and like their eyes go like to slits when they see you, and then they just fucking bolt and like run into the forest. And then you also hear from the opposite direction, "Hey, I think I see a light over there."
Oh, no.
Is that the person who's been stealing our stuff? And you hear a number of different footsteps like running towards you.
I'm gonna run after the thief person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, no, there's gonna be no thieving on your watch, Tioku, so.
Yes. Tuku, the lawful bandit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run after that person, the Koshaki.
I'm gonna panic and stay where I am. Indecision,
Nice.
like looking each way and like I don't know where to go.
Perfect. So, Tuku, you bolt after this person, and we're gonna take care of that second. First,
Yeah?
Zara, you and Charlie and Nemo and Eustace are all kind of like just caught in the open as these 3 orc men, like not like young men, like these guys look like they're in their early 20s, maybe, all like run at you. One of them's the one in the front has like a torch, and then the one in the back, one behind him has a wood chopping axe,
Oh, jeez.
like a camping axe, basically,
Yeah.
in his hands. The one in the front, who like runs up first, is this like tall, lithe, extremely handsome orc. He's got like really like nicely coiffed hair. That's kind of it's pinned up because it's the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
To keep like the curls and stuff. And he's got these really graceful addax horns, that like they're curly like screw horns. Addax is spelled Addax if you want to like look up the type of horned animal that his horns look like. The guy behind him is big and beefy and like very gruff looking. He looks like the kind of kid who grows a beard in 7th grade. Grown up. He's this big, tall, barrel-chested guy with long hair. It's in a braid, and these really big, like bighorner horns. And he actually looks really familiar to you, Zara, because he looks like almost exactly like his dad, the Culture Admiral.
Huh. Okay. So he looks it looks like a young culture admiral, basically.
Yeah. Except a little bit more rougher on the edges. Culture Admiral was like slick.
Sure, yeah.
This guy looks like kind of rough and tumble. And then behind them is this kind of scrawny dude with glasses and what kind of horns does he have? Oh, yeah. So Tularin, the big guy, has ibex horns. If you've ever seen an ibex sheep, the other one has like ram horns that are like just kind of curl around his ears.
Okay.
Like Marco from Saga.
Sure.
And he's got like glasses on, and he's got like really tousled hair. He's the only one that looks like he was like really trying to sleep. The other two look like they've been awake.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's kind of like also got a torch, and he's like ringing up the back. And this handsome guy like runs out and he says, "Halt! Be ye bandits? Rapscallions?
No, we be, Zara Fontaine and, I turn around and I say, and renowned celestialist, Bartimaeus Nemo.
The guy behind the one in front, Tulerin, the big beefy boy, he says, "Never heard of him."
Ooh. Is that so? We're not bandits. Nemo, Eustace, will you help me out here?
Nemo walks up front and he says, Guys, there's no need for this kind of aggression. It's the middle of the night. We've been walking for ages. We're tired. We're not going to steal any of your stuff. And this is Nemo using his minstrel skill, his hero's welcome ability. And he's like, "You might not have heard of me, but I did publish a few fairly, I would say, popular theses." And the guy in the back, the nerdy one with the glasses, says, "I've heard of him. He's a pretty big deal." He says, "Thank you. I'm a pretty big deal. Now, I understand that you've got some sort of thing going on, and you're in luck because," and he pats Zara on the back and like kind of pushes her forward a little bit. "You've got a bona fide hero right here, empowered by the Culture Admiral himself to help the people of Galeria. Isn't that right, Zara?"
I scramble into my belongings and pull out the badge and show it, and I say, "That's it. That's exactly right. Gregarious Piranu himself."
And Tulerin puts the axe down and he says, "You talked with Dad?"
Your father is Gregarious Piranu?
"Yeah. Don't I look like him? Look at me." And he he's got like a sleep robe on. You can see he's got the same chest hair that his dad has.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow, that's really something. Yes, I spoke with your father a couple days ago.
"So my dad got the letter about the thieves that have been stealing from our camp?"
Oh, well, no.
Oh.
No, actually, we're out here on a slightly different business, but, part of that business may involve looking for, this missing professor of yours, Orion Montauk?
The egghead. Right. Well, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go make some sausages. And Tulin just walks away. And,
might we join you at your camp?
And the handsome one, looks down and says, "Of course. My apologies for a rough introduction. Tulerin can be a little bit gung-ho about protecting his possessions."
Oh, that reminds me, we're very gung-ho about protecting our possessions too, so we have these carts, and you're not gonna just don't look at them. Don't look in them. Don't look under the sheet. There's nothing under there.
And he looks behind you and he says, "I see."
I turn back and wink at Nemo.
Well, I assure you that none of us would even think to look into anybody else's belongings.
Right, there's so much uninteresting things there that it's just not worth your time.
Oh, I'm sure. And he holds out his hand and says, "My name is Providence Castor. I'm the president of the Belvedere University Archaeological Society."
Zara Fontaine, at your service. Oh, and this is Charlie Axel, Eustace Flynn, and Bartimaeus Nemo.
Charlie salutes. Eustace is like, "Yeah, Eustace Flint, pleasure."
Sorry, I would have said Eustace Flint. My bad.
No worries. He says, "I'm a engineer." And he says, "A train maker. How incredible. Well, this is my good friend Galileo Ponserrat, the brains of the operation." And Galileo kind of adjusts his glasses and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the brains. I'm gonna go see if there's any coffee to brew." Galileo walks away and he says, Providence says, "Well, fantastic. Come on in. It's, the more the merrier." And he leads you back to his camp, which is this super plush, bougie campsite.
Christ.
They have set up,
is this like that one episode of Parks and Rec where, Sky Mall, where, what's his name? Tom Haverford gets everything like Sky Mall, like he's camping, but he's got like an Xbox and shit.
It's effectively that, yeah. They've set up two street lamps almost. These tall oil lamp fixtures that they put on two sides of the campsite, and then there's a big campfire in the middle, and they've got basically what is an RV. It's a big wagon that is unfolded into like what is effectively a small house with like these really plush beds. And it's like, I apologize for the lack of creature comforts. It's it's tough roughing it out here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And they go through the cooler and like, yeah, a cooler. They have a cooler. They have a nice chest as part of this. Tularin starts pulling out like links of sausages, and he says, "The goddamn thieves got in here again. They stole half our mangoes. They stole all my grapefruits, and they stole the ribeye." And he slams it shut. And he says, "Yes, it seems like there's some sort of food thief operating in these woods. It might be some sort of animal, or we're not really sure, but they've been terrorizing us." And Castor, like, Tularin has the axe in one hand. Is like, "Yeah, just only because I haven't been able to get my hands on them." He waves the axe around.
Well, maybe they're just hungry.
Like, Providence looks like he's considering it. and Tularin's like, "Well, if they're hungry, they can get their own food. This is my food. I brought these grapefruits special from home." He sits down kind of grumpily. Providence is like, "You'll have to excuse Tularin. He can get a bit grumpy when he doesn't have his blood sugar up."
That's quite all right. Anyway, like I said, I sort of like look at Nemo. I say, "We're out here looking for something," and I sort of like look at Nemo. Like, is it okay to tell people? Like, does he give me a little nod? Like, yeah, let's trust these guys.
I think he gives you like a shrug, like as your decision.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Very helpful ass. Anyway, so I turn back and I say, "We're out here looking, we're hoping to examine that old tower, actually. We think something in there might be useful to us."
The tower? Providence kind of like strokes his chin, where he's got like the first wisps of a beard. And he says, "Funny, we actually thought the same thing. It seems to be like the oldest structure in the area, but the whole thing's trapped to all hell."
Is that so? Old traps?
I don't know. Providence, not Providence. Tularin, you got that log on the head. Would you say that was an old log or a new log? And Tularin like kind of throws the axe on the ground. Like, he embeds it in a stump in the clearing, and he says, "I'd call it kindling."
Okay, Mr. Macho here. Not very helpful, but alright. I'm going to sort of think about it, think to myself, well, good thing we have a famous thief. And, I don't think we have to worry about that. After all, we're heroes, so, danger is our middle name.
I was about to say, have someone be like, "I thought your middle name was this," but those jokes have been made before.
Gabriella is my middle name.
And Providence says, "Well, fantastic. Would you mind being such a fantastic hero? We would love to get a look at those ruins. I think adventurers could maybe spare some time to escort some scholarly young gentlemen."
Well, if it is as dangerous as you say, then I can't exactly condone visiting without special training or equipment. But I do respect the desire for scholarly insight, so we'll see.
"And we will, of course, be able to," and he looks over at Tularin, "compensate you for any of your assistance." And Tularin like pulls out a like he like reaches into his robe and pulls out a billfold and waves it.
Tell Tuku about that billfold later. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to sort of like look at it for a moment, and then I'll go adjust my glasses and say, "We'll see."
Of course. And he like kind of lets the matter drop there. Now, you're hoping to find what exactly in that area? And actually, I think this is probably, like, on that question, as you explain to him, whatever you choose to explain to him, we cut to Tuku, running through the forest after that Koshaki. Now, what's your method of chase? How do you chase people?
Is he running to a direction we have already been to?
No, they're running in this very like sort of like bouncing around
Okay.
jumping from like tree to tree and trying to lose you as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I think Tyuku would also try to kind of sneakily run after, not like stomping around, just like she would want to try to anticipate where this person's going, like running a straight line or just like, yeah, and just like try to shortcut there. Like,
Okay. I'm about that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely about that. How about you roll me a defy danger dexterity
cool.
to like make your way around them?
And I have rolled a 9.
A 9. Okay. So here's what happens. Tyuku, you are running. You are like softly padding through the forest after this person who's running. And you're able to like not corner them, but you're in a position where you could like strike if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. You could grab them.
Can I just like drop on top of them, just like, pin them down or something?
Absolutely, like pounce on them like a jungle cat.
Yeah.
You can most certainly do that. So you
I love that.
You pounce on them. Tyuku rolled a 9, by the way. You pounce on them, and so here's that worst outcome. You pounce on them, you get them. You are on top of them, and they go, oh no, we're just hungry. And they're like trying to talk you out of like turning them in.
Tyuku wasn't planning on turning them in anyway.
I mean, yeah, probably. But do you say anything? Are you like just sitting on them like stoically?
No, I think I'm like, no, it's fine. Don't worry, I just wanted to see what you got there.
Okay. And they kind of like, you're sitting on top of me.
Oh, sorry. And Tyuku gets out, just like, oh.
Okay. They like sit up. This is Koshaki. They open their thing, and you can see that they have like some coins in there, but mostly it's grapefruits and mangoes and a big like chilled ribeye steak.
Tyuku looks super disappointed, like, oh, it's just food. I thought you got something really interesting.
No, we just needed to eat.
Who's we?
And their eyes like kind of flick behind you for a second, and you hear a click, and you hear from behind you, "We're we."
Oh, hello.
And then you feel like a crossbow bolt, like jab in the back of your back.
Well, hello. Your friend here has quite nice moves. As a thief.
And you hear the sigh, you hear this person behind him say, "Raspberry, what did I tell you about pilfering from those boys?" And Raspberry Time is the name of this. Raspberry Saccharin is the name of this Koshaki.
Aww.
They put up their hand and they say, I know, but just the bars, the sweetness every day, it only goes so well. We kind of wanted, something savory, something a little sour. Says the guy behind you, like sighs again. Says, "Well, now look what you did. You got yourself caught by who are you?"
My name is Tyuku, and don't worry about me. I will not tell. I'll just say, if they ask, I'll say it was an animal. Don't worry.
Sure. Amethyst. And then a bag goes over your head.